Hi and welcome back to a new video. Today is Sunday, so I'm going to be doing my top 10 movies of 2007. I do this every Sunday and I really look forward to it actually. It's lots of fun. I love hearing your favourite movies from the particular year in the comments below because I've been writing down lists of ones that I must get to, of films that I haven't seen and things like that. Now 2007 was really hard. It was definitely one of the harder years I found, not because there wasn't many, but because there was too many. There was too many films I love from 2007. When I was making the list, I was like, oh yeah, I love that one, I was writing them down, and then I was like, oh, and that one, and then I ended up with loads, and I was like, okay, I need to switch that out for something there, and switch that out. And I made the list about a week ago. I usually make, like today, I'll make my list for next week. I'm not really sure why. It's just after the video, I always start making the next one. So I'm going to create my list for top 10 2008 today, after I film this video. But yeah, so now it's been a week. I'm not sure what I kind of took off the list, but I know there was films that I really loved that were on the list, and I was like really having a real hard time deciding what I wanted to pick. So, if there's a film you really love that came out in 2007 that you think should have been on my list, it probably was just there in the running because this was a difficult one. But yeah, lots of these films I really do love. Okay, so first up, our honourable mention, we have Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which obviously is the 5th Harry Potter movie that came out this year, and of course, I love Harry Potter. Luna Lovegood comes into the series in this one, I'm pretty sure, and I love her. So yeah, really, really enjoy this, and yeah, Harry Potter, of course, that's our honourable mention. Okay, now the first one I have here is Into the Wild. Now, Into the Wild, for a while, I thought was my all-time favourite film. However, now it might be One Day, which I feel like it's a question. If someone asked me what's your favourite film, I don't think I would say that. If I did, I feel like I need a reasoning a bit more. I need to rewatch it. Anyway, Into the Wild, though, at one point was one of my favourites, but now I feel like it's not quite my favourite film, but it's fantastic. I definitely recommend it. If you enjoy kind of wilderness stuff, survivalness, if you don't know the story, it's a true story, it's based on a true story. If you don't know the story behind that, I didn't when I first watched it, it's definitely an interesting watch. But obviously with it being based on a true story, you might have already heard what happens, so you kind of might know. But if you don't, I definitely would recommend it. And if you just kind of heard of it, it's still a very fantastic film. It's really well made, the soundtrack's fantastic, the characters are great. I really, really love that film and would totally recommend it to everybody. I feel like not enough people talk about this one, and it's just so fantastic. So yeah, Into the Wild, I totally recommend. Please definitely check that one out. The next one is a Disney Pixar, and I feel like looking at my list, this one maybe I might have swapped out for another, but I do really like this, and it's Ratatouille. I really, really like Ratatouille, and I've seen it a bunch of times, but I feel like I haven't seen it for a while, and now I'm wondering whether I would enjoy it as much as something else I might have taken off. But now, like I say, because I made the list a week ago, what those things were, I do not know. But yeah, Ratatouille's great. It's Pixar, it's different. It's very different. It's set in Paris, so that kind of gives it a nice vibe. I like that it's about cooking. I don't necessarily like that it's about a rap, but it's okay because it's animated, and I like the characters. I like, again, it's about cooking and Paris, and yeah, I really enjoy Ratatouille. It's a good Pixar film, but it's not kind of one of my favourite ones. It would be in my top 10, but maybe that's just because Pixar don't really have that many films. Like, how many Pixar films are there? Maybe 18 more? I don't know. Maybe I should put it on the screen here. I really don't know. The next one on my list is Bridge to Terabithia. Okay, this is such a great film, but it's very sad. It's like a hard-hitting family film. I watched this when I was younger, and I was so shocked by it, and I've since watched it multiple times, and I feel like it's very good. I feel like I wish they would make more family films like this now, because I feel like it's not all cutesy and fun and happy. I feel like it deals with some kind of serious issues in interesting ways, and it's one I'd recommend to watch. It's a very interesting one. It's not just a fun family film as you'd imagine. It definitely takes different turns. It has some twists. It's an interesting one. It's also, again, fun and cheery. Again, I like the soundtrack. Zoe Deschanel's in it. And what's his name from the Hunger Games? Who plays Peter? Josh Hutcherson. He's in it. And Anna Sophia Robb, Bailey Madison's in it. There's quite a few people in it, and I always really loved that one. So I really like that film. The next one on my list is a Sandra Bullock film. And again, this was kind of one that I was like, I didn't really put this one in initially. I kind of go through a list, and then I saw this one. I was like, shall I swap something out for this? Because I really do like that film. Now, I haven't seen it for quite a few years, but when I first watched it, I watched it a few times after, but the first time I watched it, I was like really just kind of like, yes, this is a good film, and it's Premonition. Now, I'm wondering whether if I watched Premonition now, it would have had the same impact. I'm not really sure. I need to rewatch it. I'm going to rewatch it this year. I might rewatch it in October because it's kind of got a bit of creepy vibes. Not majorly, but it's more of a psychological thing, and I remember really loving it. And again, I really like Sandra Bullock. She's one of my favourite actresses, so again, I'm sure it is definitely justified on this list, but I feel like I haven't seen it for a while and I need to rewatch it. But Premonition, I feel like no one really talks about it, and I would definitely recommend it, but I feel like to fully 100% say yes, you should definitely watch that, as I would with Bridge to Terabithia or Into the Wilds. I need to rewatch it, so I will do that soon. But yeah, really, it's an interesting film, and I remember really being interested in it and really loving it when I first watched it quite a few years ago. So yeah, Premonition. Next on my list is just a fun, I was going to say happy, that is not really what this is, but it's P.S. I Love You. I really do like this film. It's kind of the ultimate girly, chick flicky type of movie, I suppose you'd say. You know, P.S. I Love You, The Notebook, those kind of, I guess they're kind of sappy movies, but this one, I really do love it, but it's so sad. Like, I really find this one sad. I find it hard to watch. Whereas The Notebook has never been one that I found, well, there's like a part that's sad, but I feel like P.S. I Love You, I feel like I find it harder to watch. Like, it's more sad, but I really like it. I really want to rewatch it. It's a really good film, but it's pretty sad. But I do quite like those sad, kind of depressing, in a way, romantic films. Those are kind of the romantic films that I really enjoy, I feel. Which, I don't know what that says, but yeah, P.S. I Love You. I'm sure you've all heard of it. The next one on my list is The Bucket List. Okay, I feel like not many people like this, and I didn't really know that until kind of recently. I watched it when I was younger. I really loved it. I watched it a bunch. I still really love it. And then when I kind of talked to other people about it, they don't seem to really like it that much. I'm not really sure why. It's about these two guys who are, well, it's Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson. They've kind of, you know, gotten older, and they decide to make a bucket list because they're both in the hospital together or something, and it's just sweet and nice, and I just always liked the idea of that, and I always kind of wanted to have a bucket list, and I just always thought it was kind of inspiring and cute. Like, I don't know, I always like those feel-good type of movies, and I feel like The Bucket List is definitely one of them. Every movie on this list is a movie that I would watch multiple times and still want to watch, which I feel like really, for me, is kind of what I think of when I think of top movies. They're movies that I want to continue to watch. So that's kind of what everything on this list is. The next one on this list is one that I feel like is very underrated, but again, it kind of falls into the category of romantic comedy type of thing, and it's I Could Never Be Your Woman. I've never heard anyone talk about this. It's got Michelle Pfeiffer in and Paul Rudd, and it's also got Saoirse Ronan when she's quite young. I'm not 100% sure if that's how you say her last name. But anyway, she's in it, and I love this. I watched it for the first time about 3 or 4 years ago, and then I watched it again the next day, and I've seen it a few times, and I really like it. It's really generic. I'm not gonna lie, it's not anything like different. It's quite generic. It's kind of cheesy, but there's something about it that I really like, and I feel like it just hit the right spot of being a great, fun, relaxing, easy romantic comedy. And sometimes that's what I really want. It's just a really nice, easy, feel-good movie. Like, I like movies that make me feel great after I've watched them, kind of uplifting, just easy going, nothing, you know, too crazy. And I feel like this one really hit the nail on the head with what it was trying to do there, and just be that type of film, and I really liked it. So I definitely would recommend this one if you like those type of films and you haven't watched this one. I really liked it. Okay, so the next one on my list is a Disney film, and I feel like not many other people might not put this one on their list, and it's Meet the Robinsons. And I feel like the movie, in some parts, is kind of average. Like, it's kind of average film, and then the end, I think, is fantastic. I feel like it's a very clever film, and I've watched it multiple times, and I feel like it just occasionally just blows me away with, I don't know, there's something about it that just really connects with me about how he feels, and then, I don't know, I can't go into it because I don't want to spoil it, but I always felt like I don't know, again, I can't tell you why I love this one without ruining the film, but if you haven't seen Meet the Robinsons, I would recommend it. I would give it a go. If you like Disney and you just haven't kind of seen that one because it kind of seemed like not the best, I would recommend watching it. However, I think you have to watch the whole thing to have a full opinion on it. It's one of those type of films. When I initially started watching it, I thought, I'm not sure really that I'm enjoying this, it's okay, and then once it had all come together, I was like, yes, that's a really good, nice film. I really like it. So yeah, I really like Meet the Robinsons, but again, you have to watch the whole thing, and it is really sweet. And the next one on my list is Trinians. Okay, I was completely obsessed with this film when it first came out. Me and my mum went to see it in the cinema, and I loved it. I really loved the soundtrack. I really loved the way that they dressed. So that sounds kind of weird, but I really loved their style. I remember when I was in high school when it came out, and in our kind of cafeteria or like lunchroom, I don't really know, they had the big poster, because they used to kind of put up posters, I guess, of current things that were coming out. I remember they had the Trinians poster, and I really, really just wanted to be like the Trinians, and I wanted to be there, and I just loved it so much. And I still feel like I really would enjoy this film. I haven't watched it for a while, and sometimes, you know, when you have such a high love for a film from years ago, when you rewatch it, the love for it's not the same. So occasionally I don't rewatch things as much. Like, I recently tried to rewatch The Witches. I used to love The Witches when I was younger, but I also used to be quite scared of The Witches, you know, the Roald Dahl movie adaptation. And I started to rewatch it only about a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, I kind of got to about, I don't know, 40 minutes in, and I was kind of a bit bored, and I stopped watching it because I thought, well, I don't want the view of the film to be tainted, because I had such great memories of this film. I don't want to be like, yeah, it's okay. So I kind of just left it at that, and maybe I'll go back to it one time, but I don't know. It's kind of a weird one. Like, I really, really loved that film, and I thought it was like a favourite film, but it's not that good. So I don't know if that would be the same with Trinians, but I don't really want, if I start watching it and I think I'm not really enjoying it anymore, then I'll just kind of leave it at that, because I really like that, I really love it. Does that make sense? I don't know if anyone else has that, but I really, really did love this film, and I like the idea of it, and I really thought it was great. The next on my list is Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium. This one I feel like no one really talks about, and it's got Natalie Portman in and Dustin Hoffman. I'm pretty sure that's who's in it. No, that might not be it. Him. Who? I'll put on the screen, because I really don't know. So I'll put the name here, and it's just such a sweet movie. It's kind of like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for a toy shop. That's kind of the only way I can kind of describe it. Again, it's kind of a family film. It's an easygoing, happy film with some sad parts, and it's just a good, fun, nice, well-rounded film. I always really enjoyed it. Growing up, I feel like with these early 2000s, it's obviously, a lot of them are going to be films that I grew up watching and grew like attached to in that way, because that I was like at that age, you know, throughout these years. I was maybe, I don't know, 12 in 2007. I'm not sure, I didn't do any maths then, I'm not really sure. You know, I was kind of younger, so I liked younger type of films, and then I grew attached to them, and I've continued to love them. So that's kind of what this is. But yeah, that's all the 10 films. Let me know down in the comments below which of those you have seen, or your list. I feel like, again, this was a difficult list for me, so I feel like there's going to be a lot of films that a lot of you can mention and really love. I'm sure it was a good year, much better than 2006, which we talked about obviously last week. And I will see you guys next week for top 10 of 2008. Which I'm excited about, because I haven't looked that one up yet, so I'm going to do that now, and hopefully there will have been some good films out in 2008. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Thumbs up if you enjoy these videos, and make sure to check them out every Sunday. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you are a newbie, and I'll see you then. Goodbye!